You wake up in the middle of the night. Something's standing at the foot of your bed. You can't move. You can't scream. Is it a ghost? A demon? Something worse? Today's episode is going to challenge everything you think you know about ghosts, aliens, shadow people, and more. Welcome back to the Curiosity Files. I'm Larry Flaxman, best-selling author, researcher, and lifelong explorer of the strange, the supernatural, and the scientifically unacceptable. Each week, we investigate the edges of human experience where science meets mystery and where belief and biology blur. Let's explore the wild, controversial, and surprisingly grounded science of weird shit, how our brains might be creating the paranormal. Most people think their brain is a recording device, like a camera that captures reality as it is. But that's not true. Your brain is not a mirror, it's actually a filter. Right now, your senses are processing over 11 million bits of information per second, but your conscious mind, it only handles about 50. This means nearly everything you experience is being edited, stitched together, and interpreted real time on the fly. This is why two people can be in the same haunted room and one sees a ghost while the other sees nothing at all. One of the most common paranormal experiences is waking up to find a dark figure standing nearby while you're frozen in place. It's terrifying. It feels real. Many cultures have myths built around it: incubi, night hags, shadow people. But science calls it something else: sleep paralysis. Here's what happens. During REM sleep, your body is paralyzed to prevent you from acting out of your dreams. Sometimes you wake up mentally before your body has fully rebooted. In that moment, your brain is half dreaming, half awake, and it fills in the blanks with something terrifying. You sense a presence. You feel watched. You might even hear breathing, whispering, or footsteps. It's one of the most vivid, convincing paranormal experiences that a person can have. And it's happening entirely inside your brain. Your brain is wired to find meaning in patterns. Pareidolia is when you see a face in the clouds or a ghostly figure in the static. Apophenia is when you connect random dots and believe they mean something. This mental wiring is a survival tool. Early humans needed to detect faces in the bushes or hear danger in the wind. But today, that same wiring can trick us into seeing ghosts, hearing whispers, or thinking a creaking house is haunted. Our brains crave explanation. They're uncomfortable with ambiguity, so they fill in the unknown with meaning. Sometimes that meaning is a ghost. Sometimes it's an alien. Sometimes it's a Bigfoot in your backyard. The belief becomes the lens, and then we start seeing through it. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Researchers like Chris French have proposed the idea of a weirdness window. This is a temporary state where your brain becomes more sensitive, more suggestible, more prone to interpreting reality as paranormal. What opens this window? High stress, sleep deprivation, emotional trauma, illness, psychedelics or altered states, even isolation and loneliness. Under these conditions, your perception can shift. You may hear your name called out when no one is there. You see a figure out of the corner of your eye. You feel watched in an empty room. In fringe science, we often talk about thin places, but maybe what's going thin isn't the veil. It's your brain's boundary between perception and imagination. Let's talk about memory. We think of memory as a recording, but memory is more like a Wikipedia page, editable, biased, and surprisingly unreliable. This is crucial when it comes to hauntings, UFO abductions, and even past life regressions. When someone believes they've seen a ghost or been abducted, they start remembering things that reinforce the story. Sometimes hypnotic suggestion or group influence can even create false memories entirely. This doesn't mean that the person is lying. Their brain has rewritten history to match the narrative it believes. The brain isn't just observing the story, it's helping to write it. Now let's zoom out. Why do some people see ghosts, others see aliens, and others encounter fairies or demons? The answer might be in cultural priming. In Japan, haunted forests are filled with yuri, vengeful spirits in white robes. In Iceland, people report elves and hidden folk. In the American South, it's Civil War soldiers or shadow men. Same weirdness, different framework. Your brain pulls from the library that it knows. So when something unexplainable happens, it fills in the gaps with what your culture, your upbringing, or your faith tells you is most likely. This is why understanding belief systems is just as important as understanding the brain, because our expectations shape our reality. Now, here's the part where I flip the script. Just because an experience starts in the brain doesn't mean it's not real. Your mind is the only tool that you have to perceive reality. And it's possible, just possible, that the brain is a receiver, not a generator. That what we call hallucinations are actually tuned to a frequency that we don't understand yet. This is where mainstream neuroscience meets fringe physics. Could altered states open a door? Could sleep paralysis be a glitch in perception or a moment of overlap with another layer of reality? The science of weird shit doesn't explain away the paranormal. It just gives us more tools to ask better questions. So what do you think? Are ghosts, aliens, and shadow people all tricks of the brain? Or is our brain just one part of a larger system that occasionally glitches into something unknown? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy these kinds of deep dives where science and the strange meet at the edge of understanding, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you'd like to support my channel and fuel more episodes like this one, you can buy me a coffee using the link below. Thanks for watching. I'm Larry Flaxman, and this is The Curiosity Files.